Hello everyone and welcome to a new lesson with Miss Rafa. Today we're going to complete with Unit 7, Prose. We're going to focus on the reading skill. So open your activity book and let's get started. Reading, page 56. Question 1. Before you read the text about Charles Dickens, match these words with their meaning. Siblings, siblings. Deteriorated, deteriorated. Innocence, innocence. Inheritance, inheritance. Courier, courier. Freelance, freelance. Pseudonym, pseudonym. Eagerly, eagerly. Now let's see. Money a person received from a relative after death. Inheritance. Earning money by selling your work to several different organizations. Freelance. In a way that shows great interest and excitement about something. Eagerly. Became worse. Deteriorated. Brothers or sisters. Siblings. A name used by a writer instead of his real name. Pseudonym. A person whose job is to take packages or important papers somewhere. Courier. The fact of not being guilty of a crime. Innocence. Now let's move on to Charles Dickens. Famous British author Charles John Hoffman Dickens was born on February 7, 1812, in Portsmouth, a port city in southern England. He was the second of 8 siblings. His father, John Dickens, was a marine writer, and he dreamed that the profession would make him rich. His mother, Elizabeth Barrow, rose to become a teacher and then a school principal. Despite his parents' best efforts, the family remained poor. Nevertheless, the family was happy in its early days. In 1916, the family moved to Chatham, Kent, where Charles and his brothers were free to roam the countryside and explore Old Rochester Castle. In 1822, the family moved to Camden, a poor district of London. During this period, the family's economic conditions deteriorated, and his father was imprisoned in 1824, when Charles was only 12 years old. As a result of his father's imprisonment, Charles Dickens had to drop out of school and work in a boat painting factory beside the Thames. This was the best he could do to help his family, biding his childish innocence, and this incident became a recurring theme in his writing. After a while, he was allowed back to school after his father received a family inheritance, which he used to pay off his debts. But when Dickens was 15, he was again denied an education, and in 1827 he had to drop out of school and work as a courier in an office to contribute to his family's income. As it turned out, this work became an early stepping stone towards his work as a writer. A year after starting his career in the office, Dickens began his work as a freelance report writer in the London law courts. Only a few years later, he became a reporter for two major newspapers in London. In 1833, he began presenting skits to various magazines and newspapers under the pseudonym Prose. His first stories were published in his first book in 1836, Sketches by Boz. Dickens' writing became so popular with readers that he began publishing his first novel, Oliver Twist, as episodes in a newspaper, telling the tale of an orphan living on the streets. The story was inspired by the feeling of Dickens, a poor child forced to make a living through his own wits. Oliver Twist readers have been eagerly awaiting the next monthly episode. In 1859, Dickens published A Tale of Two Cities, a historical novel set at the time of the French Revolution. In 1865, Dickens had a train accident and never fully recovered from it. Despite his unhealthy conditions, he continued to wander until 1870. On June 9, 1870, Dickens suffered a stroke and died at the age of 58 in Gat's Hill, his country town in Kent, England. Adapted from English literature. Now let's answer the questions. Question B. Read the text again, then choose the most appropriate completion, A, B, or C. Charles Dickens was born in the early 18th century. Charles lived with six younger brothers and sisters. Chatham is a village. Charles' father went to prison because of bad debts. His poor childhood inspired Dickens too. Write Oliver Twist. Question C. Answer the following questions about the text. What did moving to the countryside add to Charles Dickens' life? He was free to roam the countryside and explore Old Rochester Castle. How did little Charles help his family when his father was taken to jail? He left school and worked in a boat painting factory. In which way did his first job affect his life later? This incident became a recurring theme in his writing. Why was Charles' father set free? He was set free because he received a family inheritance, which he used to pay off his debts. حرف البي بكلمة debt لا يلفظ. Were people interested in Oliver Twist? Explain. Yes, they were. Oliver Twist readers have been eagerly awaiting the next monthly episode. What was the direct reason of Charles Dickens' death? He died because of a stroke. That's everything for today. Thank you very much. See you next lesson.